Yay, pretty lights. That's Hannah's only down for 2 days, and I'm not fussed on Christmas, quite honestly. It doesn't do a lot for me, and Hannah's quite happy that we have some decorations, just a little bit, so that's the token gesture. These are nice, handcrafted. I've had these years, literally handcrafted, nice little table decorations. Basically that's all we go in for. And right, that's not the point. The point is out here. Guess what the weather's doing again? Oh, it's raining. Right, the good news is I've just had confirmation that the guy is coming to do the tree on the 28th of December, weather permitting, because obviously if it's chucking it down with rain or there's a wind, then they won't bother. He offered to do it this week, but Hannah will be down over Christmas and she'll give me a hand to move all this lot, because basically we're going to have to clear the decking off, clear all the tubs out of the way, and clear all my bonsai and the staging out of the way, so that they've got a clear run to get the stuff round to get rid of it, basically. So Hannah will give me a hand with that, and with 2 of us doing it, it's going to take no time at all. You know, so every bonsai pot that needs moving with 2 people it takes half the time, and then 1 on each end of the staging makes it a lot easier to lift and move, and then put the pots back on the staging. It's all going to go up along that back edge there, right out of the way, so that all this area is clear. So it's booked. Landlord's been contacted and agreed, and the guy offered me several dates, but that's the one I've chosen, 28th of December. And I know I've had requests to film it, but it is dependent on the guys doing it whether they want to be on film. I mean, with their company name on it, it's a bit of free advertising, but nonetheless it's not gonna get to people that are probably ever going to use their company. There's not a lot of good, really. But anyway, I shall ask and we will see how it goes. Right, in here I am now going to do, or attempt to do, the fastest update ever. Now, it probably won't include every plant, and I'm not going to do plant names. The idea of this update is like a sort of request, I suppose, is what plants are now doing okay and I would call safe to grow on, and what plants are still struggling. So literally I'm just going to go round plant at a time very quickly, and I'm hoping to do them all. Right, Nobly type, just finished blooming, possibly will bloom again later in the year. It's got a pot full of roots. It's a massive plant, it's doing fine. A new Coelogeny, wasn't showing any signs of growth or anything any good, but it's got a new growth and it's got new roots, so that's okay. The Coelogeny up the back there that's finished blooming now with the peachy coloured blooms, that has now finished growing. The new growths have bloomed. It's now on hold waiting for something else to happen, but it's okay, it's fine. My little epidendrum has got some nice strong new growths at long last that will probably bloom. It's still not a patch on what it was when I bought it, but it's it's surviving and it is pushing up new growth, so we should get some blooms. Renanthera recently changed its media. It's sort of on hold. It's not really warm enough in here. Another Nobly type here. This is Prima Donna. Buds everywhere. That's going to bloom down the line. And then another Nobly type here. The latest growths have finished growing now, so that's basically going to rest now. It may or may not bloom in the spring, I don't know. Right, now the difficult bit over the back. Right, that there is a warm to hot growing Dendrobium speciosum, and I do believe it's got a bud there. Possibly. It's got a new growth here, and another new growth here, but it's not doing well. That's never going to do well. Warm to hot grower is not going to do well here. Next to it is a Latoria type that's tangled up with a Coleogeny. That's pushed up some new growths. It's got a pot full of roots. It's okay. Still hasn't bloomed. The big Coleogeny in the corner is, you're going to get seasick. This is the species. That is the named variety. So the blooms on that, if we get any, will be bigger and the lip will be brighter. It's growing okay. It's got new growths pushing up. It's got a pot full of roots. It's okay. And then this Coleogeny here is Natida. That's starting its new growths just there. The Coleogeny behind it, I can't remember what that one's called, but it's doing okay. The latest growths have produced nice plump pseudo bulbs and nice bright green leaves, so that one's doing okay. Underneath here we've got, I'll do the mount as I go by, that is a forgotten, I think it's Glomeratum, I've forgotten. This is an Odontoglossum type, Anna Claire, and it was a back bulb division. So it was a back bulb that's grown a new growth. That back bulb is rotten and soft, but I'm not going to cut it off yet. I want this to be strong with a good root system first, because once it's separated it's a single bulb. These are my two really expensive Odontoglossums. They've grown strangely. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. They've grown strangely. If you look at the previous pseudo bulbs, they're quite plump and they've got short fat leaves. Yeah? Whereas the leaves I've grown are massive. They're really long. And look what's coming out of that bulb. Yay! I didn't know that was there. And then underneath there we've got 3 Restrepias. They're all doing okay. I haven't actually got any blooms at the moment. They're doing okay. Right, coming up the top here we've got a black hair type that's this is one of the new growths over here. The pot's over there. Massive new growth there, and another nice new growth here. It will bloom. It's bloomed on successive growths in the past. It'll be fine. Tucked in underneath there is a little tiny Nellie Isla that's a yellow one with pink tinges to the edges. It's got a new growth. It's sort of recovering. It overbloomed. Small plant, massive spike, exhausted the plant. That's how I bought it. So, you know, but at least it's starting a new growth. Next to that is this strange thing. It's got new growths all over it. It will bloom. That's that. This is not happy at all. It's an Oncidium type, and the latest 2 growths are distorted, badly distorted. I'm not sure that's an okay plant. That might have to go in the bin, which is a shame because the blooms are gorgeous. Never mind. Another Oncidium type here. This is, I've forgotten, but whatever it is, it's doing well. It's got nice new growths, pot full of roots, good stuff. Down here we've got 3 Masdevallias. We've got the big thing that's got Hercules in it, Masdevallia Hercules. It's got lots of new growths, but they don't seem to be growing good leaves. But nonetheless, it keeps pushing up new growths. So as long as it's growing, it's producing a better root system, which might then support the larger leaves that it's sort of had before. This is a recent one from Lynn. Nice new growth on there. Is this a recent one? Yeah, this is a recent one as well. Again, loads of new growths coming. Not repotted yet. Not repotted yet. Down here is the manky Cymbidium. That's the one from Hannah that's got the dodgy leaves and has a nice big spike coming. In fact, I think it's got 2 nice spikes coming down here with masses of buds. Need to get that staked or it's going to go pendulous. Oh, be back! Right, up here we've got this giant antelope type, and it has a problem. One of its top leaves is just gone, and that looks like burn. But burn of what? From the light? Unlikely. This is a high light orchid. This grows in sun. So I don't know what's done that. Maybe it's cold. It's a warm grower and it's not warm in here. Poking up through there is another Latoria type. These are the latest growths over here. Hasn't bloomed yet. Behind there is a, I don't think that is a Latoria type. I think that's a Marbly, but whatever it is, it's not happy. So this one here, not happy. And then coming forward, we've got the Koniko, whatever it is. It's got two kikis that are doing fine, and the roots haven't gone in the pot. The plant's not at all happy. So this is a job for early spring. Get these kikis off, get them potted up, and then at least I can save the plant, even if the mother plant doesn't do so well. This is a little Oncidium species, just finished blooming. Next to it is something that's not at all happy. Well, that's not a good plant. Rotten pseudobulb, climbing, roots not being produced, so not getting down in the pot. I think that's another Oncidium species. This is a Encyclia. This is green hornet crossed with something else. Nice dark coloured. That looks like it might have a bud starting. Strong new growth, nice sheath, should bloom on that growth. Oncidium type here, Tahitian dancer, 2 spikes, recovered well because that was in a poor state. Down here is my Cattleya cernua. That has just come into bloom, literally yesterday that bloom opened. Nice little splash of red. In a poor state, not doing well at all, that one. Right, coming down here. We've got this giant here, that is Oncostelli catatanti, giant. Round the back there is my only Miltoniopsis that I've got left, and it's Miltoniopsis venus, which is a primary cross. It has a new growth, it's not happy. This is, I've completely forgotten. Oh, that's Oncidium honeybee. That had the nice bright yellow Oncidium dancing lady type blooms. The plant is a mess. It's literally got no roots, so that may not survive. Down here we've got 3 odont types. This one's doing fine. This one has just lost its latest growth. That's rotted. I'll get the scissors and trim that in a minute. Hopefully it will produce another one, but that one's just rotted off. And another one here. This one's sort of doing okay. It's got a nice new growth with a plump bulb. Oh, so that's that. Now this next bit is not going to be easy. Let's have a look. What are we doing here? 13 minutes. Am I going to get round the whole thing? I might split it in 2. In fact, I'm going to split it in 2 so that I'll have something to film on Thursday. Tomorrow is a viewer's requested video, Wednesday. The other half of this can be Thursday. Friday I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. Right, so we'll just finish off this bit then. Up the back there are 3 Miltonias. One is Summer Glory, one is Summer Breeze, and the other one is Miltonia Sunset, which is the one in the middle that is growing new growths at the moment. They're sort of okay. They're not brilliant, but they're sort of okay. And then finishing off the mounts, we've got, is this Primulinum or a Phyllum? I can't remember, but whatever that is basically kikis and what's left of the mother plant. Over here, these are resting, obviously, these are resting types. Over here is the kikis I took off and planted up separately. So that's those. And then we've got 3 more Restrepias down here, making a total of 6. Again, no blooms. The 2 little recovery ones that were Hannah's are now growing quite nicely. We should get some blooms on those soon, they're big enough. But they were difficult to recover, they were. And then I'll just do those in there. The one right up the back is Wildcat something, Wildcat Bobcat. Its latest growth doesn't look too clever. It's got good roots and it has previously bloomed on each bulb, but the latest growth just doesn't look too good. And then all along the front here are my other Miltonias, basically. This one here, the first one, is doing absolutely brilliant. These are all pieces that were taken off the mother plant to grow on and bloom in a subsequent year. So this one's doing well. This one hasn't got many pieces left, several pieces rotted, but the ones that are left aren't doing bad. That one is not doing well at all. That just doesn't seem to want to grow. And then finally the one on the end was the Revenge Orchid. And you might not be able to see it. I'll hold the camera over a bit. There's a nice new growth coming behind the plant, sort of thing. So it's starting to grow, which should produce a better root system. So that should make it now. And that isn't half, but it's not far off. In fact, I'll do one more shelf. We'll do these. These are my two zygos. One's Louisendorf and one isn't, because it hasn't got a name. They're sort of okay. They've got roots. They're pushing up new growths. And then my paphs are here that aren't in bloom. And we've got a nice bud that should open soon here. And this little one down here has got a bud. That one is Appletonianum. I can remember the name of that one. Can't remember the name of this one though. And then these are the rest of my Masdevallias, basically. This one's doing okay. It's had some new growths here. Don't seem to be any more coming at the moment, but it's doing fine. It's got roots. This one here is got a spike. There's a spike coming there. Just noticed it now. Latest growth here. Let's push some new growths out. This is a nice one. Again, new growths. It's got a couple of leaves that are going yellow, but the rest of the plant's good and it's got roots. And then this one over here is a division. So that one's pushed up a couple of new growths recently. So it's doing okay. And then we've got this big one here that's doing fine. Lots of new growths. And then this is Ignia, I believe. Yes, that's the one that came from Mixed Masdevallias. Small division, but nice strong new growth here. And another one pushing up down there. So those new growths will help with producing a root system. So there we go. That finishes that bit, which means we've got that lot to do, which includes most of my plants that are recovering that might not make it. And then we've got our Cymbidiums to do, and the oddities, and my couple of Cattleyas that I've still got up there. So there we go. I'm going to leave it at that, and we'll come back and do the other half of this. As I said, this is just a flash look, just to say, really, is the plant okay? Is it going to make it, or is it one that I'm still worried about? You know, the ones I'm still worried about, apart from that lot there, are getting thin on the ground, either because they've gone and I no longer have them, they've been binned, or because they're gone past that point where they're a worry and I know they're going to pull on. So that's where we are with that. And yeah, I suppose I'd better show you this, hadn't I? Just opened. Now this is poor. These blooms should be twice that size, and I mean twice that size. But they grow. It's a strange thing. They open up, they flatten out, and they are a certain size. And then they get bigger. Over the next 2 or 3 weeks, that bloom will possibly be half as big again. But then these blooms are nowhere near as big as they should be. Plant's not in a very good state, really. It's alive, you know, but it's not in an ideal environment. It should be warmer, should have much higher humidity, you know, and it ought to have something round its roots that are not going to rot them. So it's not in a good state at the moment. But the blooms are still nice. Blooms are lovely. Right, that'll do for today then, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for dropping by.